if you look at who, what they found was that another 9% of the voters, which brought it up to 24%, work part-time. Only 24% of ANC voters work full-time. The DA, incidentally, is the other way around. So it's very important to understand that the ANC is faced with this constituency, which is a marginalized constituency, but that is the constituency on whom it depends. Now, what is happening is that this constituency now is being contested. Before, it has never been contested. It's being contested by EFF, and it's being contested by the National Union of Metal Workers of South Africa, by NUMSA. They are contesting that vote. And this constituency itself is already expressing a lot of unhappiness. So the question of class in South Africa, in my view, is becoming more and more important in our politics. Of course, the marginalized, the biggest marginalized group in this country are the Africans and the colors. So that has a race and a historical dimension to it. But we are getting whites now appearing in that. If you look at unemployment in South Africa today and you divide it by race, you're getting now about 8% of the whites unemployed. Yes, you're still sitting with 40% of the Africans and 30% of the colors unemployed. But you are having this group. Now, with EFF and NUMSA, a new vocabulary is starting, more NUMSA than EFF. EFF is still using the old vocabulary, but I think they will realize in this election, if they are to make headway, they have to have a new vocabulary to address not just the African, but to address especially the colors who are in that 40% unemployed category. So, coming to your question of the alliance between the ANC and big business, actually this is not quite correct either. The ANC doesn't have an alliance with big business. One of the things that we lose sight of in South Africa when we look at the democratization, we don't address the issue of who got the power and who lost the power. And because of our racial paradigms, oh, the blacks got the vote, and so the blacks got the power. The reality, if you look at South Africa, the white economic elite lost political power in 1994. Before 1994, the political elite and the economic elite in South Africa were the same. They had differences about how to tackle this issue, how to tackle that particular issue, but essentially they were the same socio-economic class. You had the Afrikaner landowners initially, who formed the National Party, and you had the English-speaking industrialists, mining company, all those and I don't know. You had the economic elite lost power in 1994. They lost political power. They retained their economic power. The new black political elite didn't have economic power. It didn't have assets. So what happened after 1994, which is what you are seeing happening more and more now, is a skirmish between the political elite and the economic elite. The political elite is trying to grab control of the assets. If they can't confiscate them, so to speak, which is why the nationalization issue in the ANC is very much an alive issue. Getting rid of Malema hasn't gotten rid of the issue. So the political elite is first thinking of seizing the assets through some form of nationalization. Obviously, this is much more problematic today with the collapse of the Soviet Union and so on, so you don't have this big ally. So the next best is black economic empowerment, which is a form of asset seizure. And then the third form is these multiple regulations that the ANC government passes, the latest being these amendments to the mining laws. What is the purpose of these mining laws? Is actually for the political elite to control the assets, which nominally don't belong to them, but they are increasing their own control. So it's not corrupt. So you have friction between the political elite and the economic elite. And one of the consequences of this is underinvestment that we have in South Africa. Because of this friction, the people who make the economic decisions are not sure about the safety of the asset. So we are having underinvestment. The South African investment rate since 1994 fell to below 20% of GDP. Now, for a country like South Africa, it should be way out there in the 30s, but it is below, it's averaging 19. It only went below 20 during the construction associated with the FIFA World Cup. So if I can summarize that, we actually have lots of class conflict in this country, but many people don't see it as class because, of course, it has certain racial manifestations.